The cap is supposed to be worn by the head that fits it.
I'm in coalition against hunger, in coalition against poverty, in coalition against good health. Politics for me is not about position. It is about doing the right thing.
Atiku must rest. I mean, these are the cries and warnings of some groups calling themselves Coalition of Southern Youths. They sent a message to the North, to the Fulanese, that Atiku would not be supported come 2027. Yes, as much as I try to present myself as an objective person, I have one bias. And that bias is me ensuring that I break down the Fulanese hegemony, which has been holding Nigeria for the last 60 something years. Or should I say for over 100 years, since 1914, that we've had that amalgamation. You see, the North will never compromise to reduce their years in power for a Southerner, no matter what, if it is not induced by God. The issue that happened between Yaradua and Jonathan was only influenced because it was a time for Yaradua to go, and he died. You see, aside that, you will, if you paid attention, you will notice that the North did everything that the vice president, who was Jonathan that time, never became the president. However, through the intervention of some media outfits and Dora Akuyili, may God bless her soul, Jonathan became the president, which of course led to the establishment of doctrine of necessity, as it were, because the North did everything. They said, no, we will never allow a Southerner because now is our turn. Now, this Southern Youth Coalition, I know these people might be sponsored by the Tinubu's camp, which I know, and I believe it should be true. But one thing an Obi must understand is, him deputizing an Atiku will unilaterally lead to the division of this country. Because these are the warnings the Southern coalitions have sent, an open letter to the Northern oligarchs, that if the North will not respect the gentleman agreement that was held as at 1999, that power will be rotated between the North and South, accordingly in equal proportion, that when it is a turn of the North, if it's not induced by any force majeure, that the North will complete their 8 years, no matter how terrible they are, right? As at 2015 to 2019, Buhari was a terrible president. I don't think there was one Southerner that came out. What we heard was, aside from Showore, I don't think there was any other prominent Southerner that I am aware of. But I know that the two political parties that we have in Nigeria as of 2019 presented two Northerners, and that was Atiku and Buhari. And somehow Atiku lost because there were allegations that Buhari rigged the election. But what we know is Atiku did not in any way go to court, neither did he lead a protest to question or query that result. As of 2023, Atiku felt he could go into the ring again to disrupt the gentleman agreement, because it seems like the agenda of Atiku is just to disrespect the South, the collective South. Another symbol that Atiku does not respect the South is when he keeps saying that if he does not become the president, a Southeasterner cannot become the president. I'm going to show you some reactions of some, of some people. In fact, reactions of Igbos regarding these new propositions from the Atiku camps, who are trying to deceive the Igbos into this trap that without Atiku becoming the president, because if you look at the trajectory of Atiku is the only man who seems to be the symbol of pan-Nigerian. He has 3 wives. He married a Yoruba wife, married an Igbo wife, and he married a Fulani wife. That means he is, as far as is concerned, he is non-partisan. He is detribalized. Oh, give me a break. We all know that Atiku getting married to 3 wives was all for political gains. If Atiku is truly a detribalized, a man who believes in one Nigeria as it stands, which I myself argue about, that Nigeria should not be called a unitary system. Nigeria should be a confederation, not this charade that we think we're practicing, right? Now, Atiku should just step down and lay low. And at this juncture, I want to agree with the assertions of those southern youths, because those southern youths, they are at this time, I think they are hitting the nail on the head. Peter Obi must not fall into that trap, because you must know that the Fulanese have perfected the schemes to use the Igbos to walk over them, and at the end of the day, nothing eventually happens. Between the period of 1999 to 2023, the Igbos in their large chunks have invested more than money, right? They've invested their time, their energy, their blood, their sweat into this political party called PDP. And that very year that was supposed to be the turn of the Southeast, particularly, right? Or let's say, to say the least, the turn of another South, right? Don't get me wrong. I said 2023 was supposed to be the turn of a Southeasterner in PDP. Yes, because the Igbos have invested so much. And Igbo man was one of the major pioneers, the founders of PDP. According to my findings, the Igbos were even the major stakeholders in PDP as at 1998, when that party was about to be formed. So the issue that in 2023 an Atiku could think of it that he needs to come out to contest, that conscience did not bring him that, let me lay low. Peter Obi who was my mentee, he was my co-runner in 2019. Okay, let me just allow Peter Obi to go. I mean, this time, let me allow him to go. Atiku felt, no, I needed to. Atiku has this main character syndrome, right? This is why an Atiku will go to the Southeast Development, Southeast, that town hall meeting, and he will be there facing the brilliant and intelligent Southeasterners, telling them that it is only through me that we can have an Igbo presidency. And it always beats my imagination that the Igbos are falling for this crap of a story, that it is only through him. And Atiku is not a radical person. And Atiku does not even command that political weight that, let's say, Buhari commanded between the period of 2003 to 2014. Atiku does not have court following. Today, Obi should be the one telling Atiku that I am the one that can make you the president. Because Obi is the one that has the court following. Yes, in the whole of South, Obi has the court following, ahead of Tinubu, in fact. Tinubu only became the president because of Buhari's court following. Indeed, that is what you should know. Tinubu will not become the president. While we can argue that Tinubu rigged the election, yes, the facts are out there, but we cannot also dispute, neither can we sweep under the carpet, that Tinubu got vote from the North. No matter how we want to paint that election that it was rigged, we can also agree that Tinubu got more votes from the North than Peter Obi. Okay? Now, the issue is, Peter Obi has a court following. When Tinubu wanted to become the president, Tinubu had to use the court followers or the court following of Buhari. All right, he lynched on them, he fed on them. I haven't read the southern part of Nigeria, because it was obvious that Port Harcourt was rigged to benefit Tinubu. I mean, everybody agrees on that, right? Now, an article telling a Peter Obi that you can only climb my back to get to that presidency. No, it's a deception from the pit of hell, dug in the Fulani Caliphacies. I mean, the Southeast, the Igbos must break away from these shackles. Yes, they are desperate. Yes, at this time, because of their desperation, they are vulnerable. And of course, so many people are telling them, align with the North. I agree. And Obi can align with a person like Erufai, because for me, I think Erufai even has some iota of court followers. And I think if anybody will inherit the followers of Buhari, I think the person that fits that cap, who has the potentiality, who has the future, who has that, he has that capacity that in the next 4 years or 8 years is still going to be pretty young, is Erufai. So for me, if a Peter Obi wants to even join anybody, I think a Peter Obi should jettison Atiku and he should call Obi. You know, sometimes I say Obi is still sleeping. Obi needs someone that is radical. And Erufai is radical in the north. Are you talking about religious? Are you talking about his speeches? His bluntness when he talks? I mean, this is a man who knows how to use his words. And Erufai, ahead of Atiku. Atiku is an old man who is only trying to be, he just wants to get that prize at whatever cost. He doesn't even care if the South are insulted collectively. He doesn't give a damn. His own agenda, as far as he is still alive, is to ensure that he becomes the president. He doesn't give a damn whose ox is God. He doesn't even respect the rights of Peter Obi. And yet, an article will say Peter Obi is his mentee. No. Peter Obi don't graduate. Peter Obi don't collect freedom. In fact, Peter Obi have been able to do what you, Atiku, never done in your entire life. Peter Obi was able to gather more votes without any political structure. Peter Obi was able to galvanize the people. If an article thinks he wants to come out, then a Peter Obi must see that the southern voice, the southern relevance does not get relegated. You know, during the election campaign period, as at 2023, one thing I kept campaigning on is we must ensure we clip the wings of the Fulani oligarchs. Because if an article had won immediately after Buhari, right, it has set an ugly precedence. Meaning that the Fulanis will want to always continue to come out. They won't ever see a need that we should have that power rotation scheme. It will be an ideology that it should be a contest of popularity. It should be a contest of you getting, as long as you can get the vote, go and do it. And we know, right? According to whatever population census that they've done, which I do not believe in, that the North have more population than us. And we know how stylishly the North have been able to corner Middle Belt into the North. So they will want to always continue on that trajectory. And that was why I was against an Atiku become the president as at 2023. Right? Now, this time around, it is still the turn of the South. A Peter Obi must respect that. A Peter Obi must not cower to this deception of those Fulani oligarchs. They have deceived the South in the past. They deceived us under the PDP. So many a times they've done this. They did everything to ensure Jonathan never became the president. They ensured that Jonathan never completed his 8 years. Those are the legacies they've left, to be a very master deceivers. I don't know if a Peter Obi will decide to go in coalition and deputize an Atiku, because that is him, in my opinion, committing a political suicide. Let us listen to the reactions of the Nigerian people on this matter.
But in nonsense, since the Igbos are still in Nigeria, if you want to play this politics with the Yorubas, Obi need to go and deputize Atiku Abubakar. It might not look sweet now, because look at it. If Tinubu become president again to 2031, power will go to the north. After the 8 years, if power is coming, the Yoruba will still grab it, because they know how to make relationship with the Hausa because of religious difference. Igbos are not Muslims. Now it is very good if Peter Obi go in deputy. I know maybe they might want, after the deputy, they might not want him to be a president, but at least they are still go closer to power. Look at it. Despite that Tinubu government does not allow Shetima to perform well or to do whatever, at least Shetima is a vice president. Through his office now, many of his people are giving the presidential appointment. They are doing this thing. What a people man. Tell me what has Igbo man has gained from this country? What has Igbo, apart from Obasanjo that even have interest of people that allow Igbo man to become a snake president? Look at it. There is Igbo man is not good to become anything, and that's the reason. This is the reason where we are. Without Igbo man, there's no Nigeria. Nigeria cannot move forward. I am not Igbo. I'm from the middle belt. I will tell you the reason. Under Obasanjo government, you can see that it was Igbo that were in the front of the economy of Obasanjo, the Konjo Wela, the Chasoludo, the CPA. Our Naira was fighting dollars compared to what we have now. But the moment Buhari came in 2015, the hatred he had against the Igbos, I don't know. I'm still asking Buhari a question. That's why I say Buhari need to try again. He need to go to be tried. If you are trying Imazin and Mekano, because Buhari caused everything that is happening now. Is it the Igbo that overtake Buhari government? Why is the hatred against the Igbos?
You know why? If Obi deputizes Atiku, Obi is not coming out with his really, plans or agenda. I don't know what I understand. For Nigeria. Deputization is based on appointment. I don't know what I understand. And Atiku was there for 8 years. He could not do anything. He deputized Obasanjo. It was the same Igbo materials used by Obasanjo that actually did well during Obasanjo regime. Which is why I'm standing on a very solid reason why Obi could not deputize Atiku. Atiku a Fulani man. Atiku that marketed and sold the whole public institution in Nigeria. The whole federal agencies were sold up by Atiku. Where is the money? He pocketed the money. So this time around, Atiku could not come as a president, and you expect Obi that attended Harvard University, that attended Oxford University, a management expert. His management prowess could not be relegated to deputization. Vice presidency, my food. The cap is supposed to be worn by the head that fits it. Obi is not fitted into deputization because he wants it for someone else. Because he's an Igbo man, he's not trying to relegate an Igbo man to that level. No. Nigeria presidency, when did the Igbo man officially preside or presided over that office for the last time? I'm telling you, it has been a donkey years, time immemorial. We can no longer memorize, at least we can memorize it again because it was only 1966. When you talk about Nnamdi Azikiwe presidency, it was just a ceremonial president. The right person there was Abakatafa Balawa. I don't know whether I understand what I'm saying. We need to feed the Igbos by allowing them at Asoro to preside over the office of the presidency. That is when Nigeria will get the real leadership, economical, socially and otherwise, they needed.